Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the completely mind-bending reality of the fourth dimension. We're going to take some incredibly complex physics and transform them into a deeply personal journey. Have you ever wondered what it would actually feel like to step outside the bounds of our physical reality? Well, let's find out.
So, what if you could see through time like a fourth-dimensional being? To really picture this, imagine standing in a room made entirely of giant mirrors. But here's the catch. Instead of just reflecting your face right now, these mirrors show every single version of you simultaneously. You'd see yourself as a toddler taking your very first steps, an older you reflecting on a long life, and the you sitting right here, right now, taking in this explainer. You wouldn't just be remembering these moments, you'd literally be witnessing them all at the exact same time.
Which brings us to a concept we can call the treadmill of time. Right now, as 3D beings, we're totally stuck on this treadmill. We feel time moving at a constant, relentless speed of exactly 1 second per second. It's always pushing us into this entirely unknown future while our past continuously vanishes into memory. But if we could step into the fourth dimension, that treadmill would completely stop. We wouldn't just be moving through time, we'd literally be standing above it.
Section 1. The geometry of dimensions. Let's take a quick look at the original science here to build our fundamental understanding.
Okay, consider this classic thought experiment. Think of a 3D doctor treating a 2D patient with appendicitis. Because that 2D being lives on a perfectly flat surface, kind of like a drawing on a piece of paper, a 2D doctor would have to literally cut through their skin to get to the appendix. But you, as the 3D doctor, you have basically godlike powers. You can just reach right inside and pluck the appendix out without leaving a single mark. Why? Simply because you possess a dimension of depth that the 2D being completely lacks. Now let's apply that exact same logic to us. This results in what we call the 4D privacy collapse. To a 4D superbeing, our entire 3D world, I'm talking our towering skyscrapers, our most secure bank vaults, even our own human skin, becomes completely flat and totally accessible. They could reach into the most secure vault on Earth just by stepping in a new direction that simply doesn't exist for us. A direction totally perpendicular to our normal length, width, and depth. Mind-blowing, right?
Moving on to Section 2. The space-time superpower. Now, the real kicker isn't just seeing through space, it's seeing through time itself. Let's think about Albert Einstein's famous space-time continuum. Einstein theorized that time actually is the fourth dimension. So instead of watching your life play out frame by frame, like a movie we're forced to sit through, a 4D being sees their entire life as a single solid physical object. From birth to death, your whole existence stretches out into what physicists sometimes playfully call a long, winding time worm.
Seriously, just imagine holding your entire life, and honestly the universe's whole history, like a giant strip of film in your hands. You could effortlessly scroll back to watch the ancient Egyptians meticulously building the pyramids, and then, boom! In the very next moment, skip forward 5 billion years to watch our sun tragically expand into a red giant. It's all just sitting right there in front of you.
Now, the immediate perks of this are pretty obvious. You'd essentially possess the ultimate cheat codes for life. I mean, you'd already know the winning lottery numbers long before they're ever drawn. You'd score an A+ on every single test because, well, you've literally already seen the answers written on the page in the future.
Section 3. The cure for pain. It turns out these seemingly fun powers actually unlock a profound psychological and philosophical shift.
The psychiatrist Carl Jung once said, "When you stop carrying their pain, everything changes." You know, Jung noted that in our 3D linear lives, we carry some incredibly heavy anchors, the intense regrets of our past and our crushing anxieties about the future. But as a 4D being, you see the entire beautiful, interconnected movie of the universe all at once. You don't carry the pain of a loss because you can simply look to the right and see the healing that follows. Seeing the whole picture literally evaporates the weight of that pain.
Section 4. The butterfly effect. But hey, before you get too comfortable with the perfect, serene powers of a god, things would get incredibly messy in a hurry. Imagine this crazy scenario. You travel back to ancient Egypt just to safely watch the pyramids being built. But you accidentally swat a mosquito. Because that specific mosquito dies, a Roman soldier avoids getting sick and survives a pivotal battle hundreds of years later. Suddenly, Rome never falls and the entire timeline is rewritten. You return to a present where everyone is speaking an absolutely unrecognizable language. This brings us to Section 5, the burden of determinism. These terrifyingly significant ripples of change lead us directly into a massive existential crisis. So ask yourself, if you can see the future, is it already set in stone? This brings up the really heavy burden of determinism.
If you know for an absolute fact that you're going to win the lottery tomorrow, do you truly have the free will to choose not to play? Or are you simply a ghost, haunting a movie theater, forced to watch an ending that you can't actually change?
Our favorite cosmic guinea pig, Chase, would experience this chaos firsthand. His 4D life would be absolutely wild. He'd be walking through walls, inadvertently performing medical miracles by accidentally removing tumors. He'd be trying to win the lottery every 5 minutes. But tragically, he'd also be completely terrified, simultaneously watching his timeline end, seeing himself frozen on Pluto or crushed by the gravity of a super-Earth. It's just a total chaotic overload of information.
Section 6. The 3D Joy of Now. Let's look at a final consideration that builds deep appreciation for the reality we actually live in right now.
The ultimate trade-off of this theoretical power becomes incredibly clear pretty quickly. As a 4D being, you'd have a life of breathtaking beauty and godlike power, sure, but you'd be absolutely lonely. You'd just be an all-knowing, friendly ghost leaving world-changing interventions in your wake. You would totally miss out on the simple, beautiful 3D joy of the unknown. It turns out that our very limitations are exactly what make our lives feel so precious. Which brings us to the Goldilocks window. Billions of years from now, the rapidly expanding universe will literally erase the visual evidence of our history. Future civilizations will look up into a completely dark, empty sky, with absolutely no idea the Big Bang ever happened. We are so incredibly lucky to live in this specific window of time where we can still look up and see the brilliant echoes of our origins.
So we arrive at this final, provocative question. Would you actually trade the thrill of the unknown for the power of a god? The truth is, we don't actually need fourth-dimensional sight to appreciate the immense majesty of the cosmos, or to let go of our past pain. We just need to look up, stay curious, and fully embrace the beautiful uncertainty of our 3D lives.
If you're ready to drop the heavy weight of the past and continue exploring the absolute limits of your curiosity, hit that like button and subscribe to keep the oxygen flowing in our hypothetical 4D bunkers. Join us for our next explainer when we dive into an even wilder scenario. What happens if you try to live inside a black hole where the laws of physics totally break down? You definitely won't want to miss it.